This or That, Fantasy Football Edition. Today on SB Fantasy Football. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the SB Fantasy Football Podcast with your pals Alan and Rapid Dave. I'm Alan.
I'm Rapid Dave.
How you doing, buddy?
Not bad.
Not bad?
Week 1 is done, thank God.
Done and over with.
The pain is gone. We don't have to worry about that anymore.
Just a complete, absolute train wreck. Cut Joe Burrow. Cut Jamar Chase. Just cut bait with all these guys. They all just suck.
It hurts your heart.
Hurt your heart. But I wanted to come at you with a little this or that.
Okay.
Who are you more inclined to play?
Just a little fun light chat. Huh?
Yeah. I got someone for each position.
Okay.
So I'll let you pick. What position would you like to start with? I've got.
We'll start T to B. Who's always in the T position? The QBs.
Go QB1. All right.
Yeah.
So this week you got two rookie QBs going up against each other.
Okay.
Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud.
Richardson
didn't look too bad.
Didn't.
You know, he had 223 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He had another 40 yards rushing with another touchdown there. CJ Stroud, 242 yards passing, 4 rushes for 20 yards, and 1 reception. And if I have to hear one more time that he started his career off the same way that Brett Favre did, and it worked out good for Brett Favre, I might just shoot myself.
Why are you so mad, man?
There
was 2 quarterbacks that actually did that this week. It was hilarious because we were watching the red zone, and
it was back to back.
It was within their 60 seconds of each other. His first pass of each of their games. I was like, oh my God.
But you got to play one. Who are you playing? You more inclined to play Richardson or CJ Stroud?
Oh, Richardson, no doubt. No doubt in my mind.
And why is that?
Well, one, he's playing Houston, right? Not that great of a defense. He scored 25 fantasy points last week. He came out slinging. No, he was not timid at all. He had 10 rushing attempts for 40 yards, too, and he ran one of those in.
Yeah.
Passing, though, he's 223 yards. He threw an interception, but he threw a touchdown, too. Yeah. And he was out there slinging it the whole time. C.J. Stroud struggled a little bit. Now, he did have 242 yards passing and 20 yards rushing, but Houston's playing Indianapolis. Indianapolis got a better defense, slightly better defense, and I think Richardson is better. As soon as I saw him in the combine, I was like, oh, look at this kid. Because he just, he had a cannon for an arm. And, it's like, oh, it's not going to translate. I don't give a shit if it translates or not. I just want to see him throw that ball as hard as he can in the NFL, and he's here, and I thought I had fun watching him. I really did. Enjoyed it, so give me Richardson. How about you?
Richardson.
Yeah.
I mean, C.J. Stroud, he's the Ohio State quarterback. Yeah, we all know how that works out. Not good. Not good in the NFL. Let's go running back next. I got 2 different positions, 4 players, 2 teams.
Okay.
Who are you playing, Justice Hill or Gus Edwards?
Oh, this is a tough one. J.K. Robbins went down again. I don't know who. Someone called it. It was his Achilles injury in the third quarter, if not the fourth. I can't remember. He had a pretty decent day. Went down, and then Hill came in. Gus the bus always somehow, like, anytime I ever drafted like a Ravens running back, I always went Gus and drafted a handcuff because whoever was going to get hurt.
Right.
Hill looked pretty good.
Well,
I don't have his stats in front of me.
He had 8 rushes for 9 yards.
Well, he got TD
and
though,
2
right?
touchdowns.
The 2 touchdowns. So the goal. That's what I'm saying. Not bad because he's going to be the goal line guy, right?
That's what I think.
That's usually Gus's job. Gus would come in and actually do the goal line work, even with the starter in. But since they've already shown kind of what they're going to do with him, if I had to pick a starter this week, I got to go Hill because I think he's going to get at least 1 touchdown, maybe 2, depending on how the games go. They're playing Cincinnati this week, so
yeah.
Hey, it's Lizzie.
But yeah, no, I'm leaning that way too towards Justice Hill.
Uh-huh.
I do think he is a little bit more TD dependent. I think Gus Edwards will get a majority of the work, but I think Justice is going to get all that red zone work.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Gus had 8 rushing attempts for 32 yards. Wasn't involved in the passing game at all. So if I'm in PPR, give me the passing attempts and whatnot. Hill should get more passing attempts thrown toward his way. Lamar looked crazy. He looked out of sorts all day. He didn't have a security blanket either. Yep. Almost every tight end, starting star, amazing tight end was out except for Hockenson. He showed up. But yeah, give me Hill this week and make me change my mind because I want to pick Gus. But I can't this week.
All right. Cam Akers or Kieran Williams?
Heard Williams had a pretty good day, didn't he?
Williams did all right.
Yeah. I didn't see his stats. I don't have anything pulled up here. Do you got any of those written down?
I do not, but I can have it 4.9 seconds.
Did you say Cam Akers?
Yeah.
I'll go Akers. You go with the other guy. So Cam Akers, 8.9 fantasy points in PPR. You're talking 22 rushing attempts for 29 yards and 1 touchdown. That's not great production, but that's good usage, right?
He had a majority of the carries. Kieran Williams had 15 rushes for 52 yards. He did have 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So
Cam Akers was not involved in the passing game whatsoever in this game, so I'm a little hesitant to use him, and I think I do like the usage. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy the usage. Glad he's getting that action because, boy, he was in the doghouse not too long ago.
halfway through the season, then he got out and played great the second half of the season,
Exactly.
right? Now, the one thing that I will say is they're playing the 49ers this week, which is going to be tough sledding, right? I'm more inclined not to play either one this week.
Yeah.
But if I have to play one, I think I'm going to lead towards – I like the usage numbers with Cam. I think I want to lean a little bit towards Cam Akers, but I could be wrong with that, right? You know, Kieran Williams did get the 2 touchdowns. Give me Cam because he still had a majority of the carries.
You think so?
And it's 1 week, right? But if the guy who's going to get more of the snaps, more of the usage, that's the guy that I like.
I'm a PPR guy. You know, that's what I love. And when I don't see any passing going towards Williams, I get a little concerned. But he did have more production.
Well, he had 2 passes thrown his way. He just didn't catch them.
Oh, I don't. Oh,
he had
okay.
2 targets.
He had 2 targets.
He had 2 targets,
Excuse
no
me,
catches.
And then, but 2 yards on 15 carries. You know, it does better than Cam Akers. But I'm going to tell you this right now, just like you said. There's no way I'm starting either one of these guys against San Francisco.
No.
I just can't do it. And these are not the 2 starting running backs I drafted. They are flex material. And I can't flex them this week because they're playing the 49ers.
Yep.
So I'm out. I'm out on both, actually.
Let's stick with the Rams. Puka Nacua or Tutu Atwell.
Both had great games. They really did. You know, I did the whole like, hey, go get Van Jefferson. And then I realized that they really don't even use Van Jefferson. And, yeah, I got kind of screwed there. I'm trying to pull up his name. How do you spell his name?
Who's that?
Puka.
Puka. So look up Puka.
Yeah, they were.
Well, they both had 119 yards receiving.
If I would have known the list, I could have looked this stuff up. But I got it.
They both had 119 yards receiving. Puka had 2 more catches. He had 8 catches for 119. A little bit more targets than Tutu did. I mean, with Cooper Kupp out, I think those are your top 2 guys.
Yeah.
Right? Now, they are playing the 49ers this week, again, which makes me nervous.
Oh,
but also, you can be down a lot, so you could see them really slinging the ball a lot.
That's one positive because they're going to abandon the run here late second quarter, obviously, if not the early third quarter, and there will be a lot of pass, a lot of dump offs and things like that. So look for like slot receivers or those quick little out routes and whatnot. So they could really put up amazing numbers. If you look at these numbers now, I think they're quite outstanding. They outscored a lot of wide receivers, wide receiver ones out there this past week, just because of it was a weird week in football.
I'm sorry, with Puka, he actually had 10 catches for 119.
I didn't want to correct you,
so,
but yeah,
he had 15 targets as well, which is he's definitely seeing a lion's share of the targets there. Without Cooper Kupp there, I kind of like both guys. I would not stack them both this week just because you're playing the 49ers.
And one of them's a trap. For sure. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know if it's Atwell or Nacua. I don't know which one's gonna just give you 0 targets.
I don't think either one's gonna give you 0 targets, but
get 0 receptions and a negative 5-yard run, like on some stupid trick play.
Yeah,
oh god. But yeah, I'm gonna put this just like I did for the running backs. I'm not starting either one of them if I have a chance. Now I picked them up to stash to see kind of where maybe next week. But if I had to pick one, give me the guy that had 15 targets. Give me Nacua, and we'll go from there. I think.
Okay.
If I got to put him in a flex, if I'm in trouble, I got my hand tied behind my back. I'm already boxed into a corner. Week 2, give me Nacua.
All right. And last up, we got the tight end position. We've got 2 guys that had high expectations this year.
Oh boy.
In Dallas Goedert, who got you a goose egg, and Darren Waller, who got you 3 for 36.
Neither were great. And I remember someone was like, hey, what do you think about Waller this week? I was like, oh, it's Darren Waller. He's good. But like in preseason, though, I was like, I don't like Darren Waller. He plays on the Giants.
Now, the Giants are playing the Cardinals this week, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got the Eagles playing the Vikings. From a matchup standpoint, I definitely like Darren Waller better than I do Dallas Goedert.
At least Philly's at home this week.
I expect the Giants to come out swinging. Like, I think they got socked in the nose the beginning of the game this last week and didn't know what to do after that.
They were marching down the field like they own this, like they own the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Then all hell broke loose. Like the bad snap, the rain, everything just started, and then it just went terrible for them. And even Michael Parsons came out and was like, "Hey, you idiots, why are you leaving Daniel Jones in the game? And it's a blowout. What are you doing? Why are all these players still in the game? Get them out of there and protect your players."
Especially with conditions the way they were.
Yeah,
right?
it was so messy. It really was.
But if you got to go with one, who you going with? You going with Goddard? You going with Darren Waller? Who you taking this week?
I mean, if I had to pick, I try to avoid Thursday night games. I don't know why, because you can have a great matchup. And Goddard, he only got one target last week. I don't know what's going on in Philly right now, but give me Waller. He's in a premier. I'm not going to say it's a premier start for him because it's against Arizona, because Arizona didn't look half bad. That was a fun game to watch last week, the Arizona, because you figured they were going to be the worst team in football.
I still do.
And then Justin Fields was like, you know who the worst team is? The Bears.
They were both pretty bad.
But he got 5 targets. He caught 3 of them for 36 yards. I mean, he's getting more targets. Goddard obviously is supposed to be a better tight end, right? But Waller did such great things in Las Vegas and Oakland before that it's like, okay, why is he not performing? Why is he not getting the targets? But obviously Waller, I might have to go Waller, I think.
I think I'm there with you. Because obviously, I think with these two guys, regardless of how they did last week, those were your starting tight ends.
Of course.
Right? You drafted these guys to be your starter. Again, don't freak out after week 1.
Mm-hmm.
But say you ended up with both, I'm going with Waller.
Sometimes there's just a little bit of rust. And these guys, it's game 1, and they just have to get through it. Now, I'm surprised that Goddard only got 1 target, to be honest with you. I was
shocked.
They were in control essentially the whole game, but
they took their foot off the gas.
New England came back and started threatening him, and he still didn't get any love. So I don't know what the hell the deal is. But obviously, he's your tight end 1 on your team. You're not going out there and streaming somebody else for a week. He's playing Minnesota prime time. We already talked about the over-under of this game. It's 49 points.
If you have them, you play them, right?
Yeah.
Odds are you do not have them both. If you did, I would play Waller. But if you have either one of these guys, that you play them.
I would say this is the only thing I think there's Waller's got a question. He's questionable for Sunday.
He's always questionable.
He always is. And so they just slap that on as soon as the game's over, and you just sit there and hope that everything's all right. I don't think there's any news with him, to be honest. It's his hamstring. It's still his hamstring. So I don't like speedsters that have hamstring issues. I don't like big boys that got hamstring issues, but I think he's going to be fine. He'll play through it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, a lot of times on Wednesday, he didn't practice today, but a lot of times on Wednesdays, your older veterans will get that day off as a rest day. So, But hey, guys, let us know what you think. Tutu or Puka, Cam, Gus. What are we doing here? I don't know, man. Who are you playing? We told you who we'd play. Tell us how wrong we are. We look forward to it. But hey, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. As always, I'm Alan.
Rabbit Dave.
Talk to you guys later. Deuces. Thanks for listening to the SB Fantasy Football Podcast.